to remind us that the first panacea for a mismanaged nation is inflation of our currency. The national currency, the Naira, has been waging a losing battle, if you ask me, in its bid to stay strong. The news we have is that our Naira has depreciated to 1,405 kobo to a dollar in the parallel market. Now, this is coming as the governor of the central bank, CBN, Yemi Cardoso, has told us the Naira is undervalued. What to do about stabilizing the national currency, Ibn Abo?
What do? We consume and we continue to consume. We don't produce. When Naira begins to fall helplessly in the face of dollar, how do you blame Naira? It has there's no means of fortification for Naira.
Yeah.
So until we begin to produce what we consume and export the excess, we will keep singing the same song as if we are stuck in the groove.
Yeah.
This is the clear truth. There's nothing, I'm not an expert in that area, but I will tell you that it is common sense that as long as we keep importing what we consume in Nigeria, as long as our universities are not top-notch, and people keep sending their children outside of Nigeria, and they will need this same foreign currency to pay the bills, we will always be here until we have a change of heart.
Yeah, Charles.
Well, for me, I think when I looked at the whole thing, I think it's very frightening. At the beginning of the month, I think the Naira was, to the dollar was about 1,200 Naira. Between then and now, you have about 15.19 depreciation level, which is very high, and that's frightening. But you see, if you want to recover, even Economics 101 tells you that, as Bernard has said, if your production side is higher than the consumption, there's no way you're not going to be even be solvent, economically speaking. Now, again, let's go back to in the 80s. I was in secondary school at that time. The Naira was 80 kobo to the dollar. What was responsible was that we were producing. Remember the Volkswagen of this world? Volkswagen was here in Lagos. Yes. We were producing here and we were exporting to the West Africa sub-region. You have Peugeot Automobile in Kaduna. Even the tires, the seats were all Michelin, Dunlop. Then you also had the glass. You have ISO glass in Badon. Yes. Then you had the brakes. You have Ferrodo brakes, which was also in Badon. All these were all there for us. If you even talk about the textile industry, you had cottons from the north. You had, even when you go to that the Apapa corridor, that long stretch, you had all this factory that a single factory could employ about 5,000 workers. You went to Ogba Industrial Estate, you find all of them over there. But today, where are they? You
go to Aswani.
Aswani, Dalamite, Testa, all of them were there because we were producing what we needed and also exporting. So we were earning money for...
Yes, I became confounded when I realized, Ibn Abo, that we have more than 400 textile factories across Nigeria. They are all down because they are not producing electricity.
Yes, exactly. Power is very important.
So how do you prop up the Naira? How?
Well, you can't do that. You see, I wish it's something they could do by fiat. You just legislate it into existence. But it doesn't work that way.
When the CBN boss says the Naira is undervalued, what does it
because mean? Okay, let's look at the factors responsible. You want to import. What do you need? You need the dollar. Because the product you're going to be importing are all denominated in the dollar. So we need the dollar, and then you have to carry a Ghana must go of the Naira to pick just a few banknotes of dollars. So that cannot be affected. But you see, just like we have agreed initially that when we can reverse the trend when we have to go back again, pick up all whatever we're doing in the 80s, 90s. If we can copy, we may not copy verbatim, but we can look at it and say, what can we borrow and also to improve upon for us to begin to produce? I'm not even saying when you're producing, I'm not even talking about producing crude, because whatever is crude is crude. If you export crude, what you're going to be getting is, just like Akim Adesina said the other day, Africa should not be exporting crude. We should refine it, give it value, then you now get value added when it has to do with we bring it back to Nigeria. I think that's exactly what we should do.
Okay, we have a a call from Kano, Mukhtar. I hope I got that name right. Welcome. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I greet you.
Jones.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I just want to make some contributions to what you are discussing.
All right. Go on.
Yeah, I just want to make some contributions to what you are discussing.
Go on then.
Yes. You see, the value of the Naira will continue to fall. I'm telling you, unless our politicians are serious on what they are doing in terms of economic recovery. Because all the factors that need our Naira to gain its value is not being taken. Because what I'm saying is that because the factors that needed to be addressed, especially the enabling environment to woo investors to come to Nigeria to establish factors are not there. There is no peace in Nigeria. The politicians continue to siphon the wealth of the nation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mukhtar. Thank you. Ibanabo, at what time would you say we went mad in protecting the national currency?
I think it was when SAP was introduced.
Yes, in 1992 or thereabouts, yes.
Yes.
No, before then, before in the Babangida years.
Yes.
Let's even go there. His government devalued the Naira 3 times. You remember the American auction, the Dutch auction, and so on and so on. We devalued the Naira and we stopped producing. Today, many companies we know have taken flight.
Yes. Even
aside from all of that, have we looked at security?
Yeah.
There is no security. If you say we're not feeling the heat the same way people who are watching us from outside are feeling it. How aggravated the level of insecurity has become, we don't understand. We're not getting it. You need to be outside of Nigeria and watch from the outside. Then you will realize that no investor in his right senses for now would want to put his money in this nation.
Yeah.
But if we are able to address all of these issues, well, maybe they will begin to have other things will begin to fall into place. But for now, even if we want to do, we are ready to do it. Are we ready to tackle insecurity? Because if we don't do that, even if insecurity could be so bad that the people who are volunteered to come and assist us in Nigeria, they are being kidnapped, they are being killed.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not funny.
Charles, we flirted with the Chinese at a time, so I thought it was going to help them.
Yeah, the yuan exchange.
Yeah.
But it was, hey, you see, there's also politics in economics, right? There's also politics in economics. So they all look at it first. I think the almighty dollar also resisted that attempt for us to befriend the yuan, because it was going to pay off. For instance, the UK Chuku that wants to import goods from China doesn't have to, first of all, carry the Naira, exchange to dollar, and then exchange to yuan. So we're going to just be, it was going to be 1 yuan to 5 Naira, which of course was going to pay us.
Yes.
But again, as I said, the almighty dollar resisted it, and then today we are still back to tied to the apron strings of the Bretton Woods institution and all that, which of course is not paying us. But I think after Buhari had left, this current government should also go back again and pick those files up and see how we can reinvent it and re-engineer it to see if we can, because most of the exports right now, I think China has the highest dollar. So why do I want to go to China? I first of all need the dollar before going to the yuan. Why don't I just use my Naira to exchange with the yuan and then bring the products here? Of course, when you look at even the marginal cost will be low compared to when you first of all do a third-party currency. The Naira to the dollar, dollar to the yuan. It doesn't make any economic sense at all. So that flirting, we flirted with the Chinese and all that, with their yuan, I think is about, we should start looking at how we can, revisit it for better days. Ibn
Abba, on a final note, Mr. President is a money man, if you understand what I mean. So we expect his know-how to come into play here.
It should. It should. I've always said that.
And with plenty of respect for the later Professor Chinua Achebe, there was a country here.
Yes.
There was.
Yeah, and there's going to be a country.
Okay.
I'm not going to lose hope in Nigeria. I believe Nigeria is going to become the dream country of those days. Yes, the country of our dream. Yes.
We have a voice from Ilori is reaching us. Welcome. Good afternoon or good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yeah. How do you do?
Panelists. My name is Sam.
Yeah, Big Sam. Welcome.
Thank you. My contribution is so simple. If you look at when we were talking of 1980s, our people that had money then, they do not take their money outside the country. They use their money to create one employment engagement or the other in the country, and that gives jobs to people. These days, we have fallen in love with keeping our money either in the bank, investment that does not generate employment for other people, or I don't have the statistics, so many repatriate their money outside the country. Now, if we stop this craziness of stockpiling dollars, there will be ease on dollar, and the Naira will appreciate. I think what the country needs to do majorly is create this environment for people, when they invest, they get their returns, they are sure their business is not going to die overnight.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Sam. We got you first time. They say to err is human, to blame it on somebody else is politics.
And to forgive is divine. You forgot that.
Okay. Forgive who now?
To forgive who?
But when you hear that some people are in the habit of hoarding the foreign currency, in the hope that the price will rise. Now we are at 1,405. So we expect the dollars to come out now?
Obviously.
To the rescue?
A lot of people do that. Even people who are not with large quantity of dollars, they do it. You hear some people, they will say, quickly, dollars come down, quickly go and buy. It's going to go up again so that I can resell and make some profit. So, see, when we blame the government, we should look at ourselves too.
Yeah.
Because it takes the people to make a government. So when we ourselves are not sincere, how much sincerity can we get from the government? Because, when I believe that the government have the capacity to put the right policies in place and to go ahead with full implementation, but it's going to take a very strong political will.
But I go with what you said earlier on, Charles. If we return to producing heavily, reviving, as I said, over 400 textile factories, keep Nigeria busy again.
These rubber factories or the palm that Malaysia came here.
But do you know, unashamedly, we are importing palm oil.
And its products. So you asked where we went mad, and then we tried to trace it back to when Babangida experimented with all those economic jargons that were from nowhere.
I remember the former military president wondered why, regarding all the knocks the economy was taking, the country didn't crash on his head.
Exactly. That's where most of our leaders, even those one before now, they've always hidden behind that shadow of whether we're almost drowning, but we are not drowned. So they feel that what they need to do is if we just inject us with a little thing, then we are kept afloat. And that's exactly what is happening.
Okay. We're talking Naira now. Yeah. Let's make some money. We'll go on a commercial break now. Okay. We're returning very shortly. Please stay with us.
Distinguished candidates, registration for youth